Well, good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manning for our College Football Live Wrap-Up Show. I want to thank all of you guys for being here tonight. We have a lot to talk about here in the next little bit. I'm not going to be here very long, but I just want to talk about a few games, give you my Game of the Day pick. I'm going to give you my Game Ball Awards, and I'm going to give some closing thoughts about Jim Harbaugh and the future of the Michigan football program and a few other things. So we're just going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's have a great show. Let's get on with it. Well, Thursday night before the game, I made some comments about saying USC is not that good. Well, they proved me wrong. They knocked off number 10 Utah 30-23 at home in the Coliseum. USC head coach Clay Helton got really smart and got a new quarterback. Matt Fink, 21 of 30, 351 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Michael Pittman Jr., 10 catches, 232 yards, and a touchdown in a game. For Utah, Tyler Huntley, the only decent player they had that night, 22 of 30 for 210 yards and a touchdown himself. Now, how in the world did USC get the job done? Utah had more first downs, 27-16. Utah had more yards, 457 to 381. USC only had 13 yards rushing for the game. And he had 2 turnovers, and Utah had the ball for over 38 minutes. How in the world did they get the job done? Well, here's an idea. Utah was penalized 16 times for 120 yards. But USC themselves weren't exactly squeaky clean either. They had 11 penalties for 117 yards in the game themselves. But the deal is, USC got the job done because they had the heart and the mind, and they had a great quarterback. 351 yards passing in the game, that's worthy of getting the job done. And Clay Helton, before the week started, I said, USC is going to have a bad season. The way they lost to BYU, everybody there was calling for Clay Helton's job. And USC does not have a new AD yet. Let's keep that in mind. Lynn Swann did resign. But if Southern Cal is going to get a new athletic director, they need to quit going back to John McKay's old teams. They need to quit going back to the Stone Age. They need to get current. But I'm not going to go any further than that. But USC got the job done over number 10 Utah. And that's all there was to it. And Utah, they did not lead at all in the ball game. They tied the ball game a couple of times, but they couldn't get the lead. USC, congratulations, you got the job done. Now, how will the rest of the season hold out? This is a good start, but they got a lot more big matchups coming up. And I would say USC's in trouble. I'm not so sure now. And that's all there is to it. All right. From the Friday night battle, we get ready to talk about Pitt. The Pitt Panthers. They knocked off number 15 UCF, and they ended UCF's 27-game winning streak. It came to an end. Aaron Matthews had a 3-yard touchdown pass to quarterback Kenny Pickett. You know the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL are famous for pulling the Philly surprise. The Pitt Panthers kind of copied that, and they got the job done. But anyway, Kenny Pickett, 25 of 47, 224 yards and a touchdown. He also had 12 carries for 61 yards in the ball game. A.J. Davis, 13 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown himself. The Pitt defense, 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks in the ball game. That's how they got the job done. Pitt had the ball for 35 minutes, and Pitt had more first downs, 30-20. And I mean, Pitt went 5 of 17 on 3rd down. They were just like a little shaky, but they went 2 for 2 on 4th down. That was key. UCF only went 2 of 4 on 4th down. I always talk about 3rd and 4th down being the big money down and the super money down. That's where all the defensive coaches earn their pay. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's what Pitt exactly did. But to give you an idea how bad UCF did, Dylan Gabriel, 25 of 42, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was picked off twice. He also carried the ball 6 times for minus 36 yards. I'm not joking. I'm not joking on that at all. And Gabriel Davis did have 10 catches, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the ball game. So before you say it was the trick play that got the job done, think about Dylan Gabriel. Carry the ball 6 times for minus 36 yards, you're going to lose. And the Pitt defense did their job. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Panthers, congratulations. You got the job done, and you ended Pitt's 27-game, you ended UCF's 27-game winning streak. And I'll tell you right now, there's some players that really need some recognition for getting the job done. I mean, UCF, everybody's saying they're all vulnerable. They say, we won Alabama. Not happening. So here's the deal. UCF loses in a bad way possible. Pitt gets the job done, and you can thank Kenny Pickett, and you can also thank the Pitt defense for that. Bottom line. And here's the deal. UCF is not as good as they advertised. A lot of people said it was a surprise. Some people said it was a surprise. A lot of people said it was not. And I even when I did my game of the day vote on the college football universe on Facebook, some people made the comment of saying the Pitt UCF game is not a surprise. They were kind of expecting it. Because Pitt saw something in UCF that I don't think anybody else knew. So congratulations to the Pitt Panthers for getting the job done. But what can I say? With everything on the line, they come through in the clutch. And that's all there is to it. All right. The next game I want to talk about. Colorado upsetting number 24 Arizona State 34-31 on the road. For Colorado, Steven Montez, 23 of 30, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alex Fortins, 25 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Tony Brown, 9 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns in the ball game. For Arizona State, Jaden Daniels, 24 of 39, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Eno Benjamin, 20 carries, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Ojulo, 9 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, if you look at this game was close all the way. Arizona State got into the top 25 the week earlier after beating Michigan State 10-7. And they lose a 34-31 battle at home. They lose a Pac-12 game at home. In Colorado, it took a field goal from Colorado to get the job done. And I'll say this. This was a great game all the way around. If you look at the numbers, Arizona State, 21-20 on first downs. On the third down, Colorado went 10 of 17. Arizona State's 8 of 13. Total yards for the game. Colorado had 475. Arizona State had 453. Yards rushing, and that's a key. Colorado had 138 yards rushing to Arizona State's 108. And Colorado had the ball for just almost 32 minutes. That's how they got the job done. And the bottom line is this. Congratulations to the Colorado Buffaloes. You may be the surprise team that comes out of the Pac-12 and takes it away. Not to take anything away from USC. A lot of people have said the Pac-12 is weak right now. But USC and Washington State, and I'm going to talk about UCLA here after Pitt. So stay tuned for that. A lot of people have said the Pac-12 is weak. And we'll have to wait and see and I know the Pac-12 is weak right now. And a lot of people will agree with me. The thing is, Colorado can beat Arizona State on any given day. USC beating Utah, that was the shocker. And I'm going to be fair to you. The Pac-12 is a little bit weak at the moment. But this weekend, it's proven how strong it can be. Bottom line. All right. The next game I want to talk about, the big Saturday night main event. Number 7 Notre Dame, number 3 Georgia. This game was a classic. And I'll tell you right now, my hat's off to both teams in this battle on Saturday. Georgia got the job done over Notre Dame 23-17. Jake Fromm, not Jake from State Farm. I just had to throw that in real quick. But anyway, Jake Fromm, 20 of 26, 187 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 98 yards and a touchdown. But there was a second supporting cast member, Lawrence Kager, 5 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. For Notre Dame, Ian Book, 29 of 47, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was picked off twice. Cole Conant, 9 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Chase Claypool, 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Yes, I did say 666. And there is a state route 666 in the state of Ohio. I'm just kidding. I'll mess with that later. But if you look at everything, Notre Dame went 1 of 3 on 4th down. That's one of the things that hurt them. In the rushing department, Georgia outrushed Notre Dame 152 to 46. Notre Dame only had 42 yards rushing for the game. Total yards for the game still fairly low. Georgia had 339 yards total offense for the game to Notre Dame's 321. And in time of possession, Georgia had the ball for almost 34.5 minutes. And that's how they got the job done. Georgia coach Kirby Smart said after the game, "We got the job done against Notre Dame, but there's some things we got to fix because that game was kind of sloppy. And I kind of expected it to be, but we still got some things to fix because we were a little bit sloppy. We got some things to fix. But I'm proud of Jake Fromm and I'm proud of my guys. We got the job done." As a matter of fact, DeAndre Swift after the game, he told reporters, "You should be talking to Jake Fromm. He's really the guy that got the job done. Yes, I ran for almost 100 yards and I did have a touchdown in the game. But I want to talk more about Jake Fromm and what he did." And I'll tell you right now, I'm proud of our team. We got the job done. And Jake Fromm, in a way, I'm kind of glad that Alabama didn't get him. Because had Alabama got him, he would have been about a second or third string. But I'm going to tell you right now, Georgia got the job done because they had the heart and the desire. And this is the 3rd all-time meeting between Notre Dame and Georgia. Georgia has won 3. Notre Dame, goose egg. But in all seriousness, though, the 3rd ever meeting between Notre Dame and Georgia, Georgia's won all 3. In the very first meeting in the 81 Sugar Bowl, ending the 1980 season, Georgia beat Notre Dame 17-10 to win the 1980 national championship. And that was Georgia's last national title. And 2 years ago in 2017, in South Bend, Georgia beat Notre Dame on an Ian Book fumble late in the game, 20-19. And now in 2019, Georgia beats Notre Dame 23-17. And what a classic this was. This game is a Game of the Year nominee, in my opinion. I will keep that information, and I'm going to tell you now, this is a Game of the Year nominee. It's early in the season, I grant you. But Georgia got the job done when they needed it the most. All right. It's time to move on. It's time to hand out some game balls, and it's time to give you my Game of the Day pick. And then and a lot of you folks are asking, what are these game balls worth? These game balls are worth, or not worth anything, but a pat on the back and a great job. That's just to kind of give you an idea. Now, for the USC-Utah contest, I got 2 game balls to hand out. USC's Matt Fink, 21 of 30, 351 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Michael Pittman Jr., 10 catches, 232 yards, and a touchdown. Congratulations to you 2 gentlemen. You 2 gentlemen are going to be recipients of a Scott Manning game ball. For the Pitt UCF contest, Kenny Pickett, 25 of 47, 227 yards, and a touchdown. A.J. Davis, 13 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. And by the way, Kenny Pickett did have 12 carries for 61 yards. But back to A.J. Davis. He had 13 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. And the Pitt defense, 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Congratulations to Kenny Pickett and A.J. Davis. You 2 gentlemen are worthy of a Scott Manning game ball. And for the Pitt defense, for your performance, you're going to get the double game ball, which means you get a double pat on the back, and you get the double check mark. 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. That is worthy of a Scott Manning double game ball. Now, for the Colorado-Arizona State contest, Steven Montez, 23 of 30, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alex Fortans, 25 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Tony Brown, 9 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. Congratulations to you three gentlemen. You three gentlemen are going to be worthy of a Scott Manning game ball. For the Notre Dame Georgia contest, Jake Fromm, not Jake from State Farm, but Jake Fromm. Not I have to do that. I got to joke about that a little bit. Jake Fromm, 20 of 26, 187 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 98 yards and a touchdown. Lawrence Kager, 5 catches, 82 yards and a touchdown. Congratulations to you three gentlemen. You three gentlemen are going to be the recipients of a Scott Manning game ball. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my Game of the Day pick. I went to College Football Universe on Facebook and asked for the opinions of the fans. A lot of people wrote in saying UCLA, Washington State. I didn't get the information on that, and I do apologize for that. Somebody wrote those in, but it was almost a big time no-brainer vote to a lot of people. And now, the Game of the Day pick is, can I get a drum roll, please? The winner of the Scott Manning Game of the Day award is Georgia Notre Dame. The 23-17 victory for Georgia in a classic battle. And that game was a classic. And it was worth writing home about. So my congratulations to all my game ball winners, and also special congratulations to the Pitt defense for getting the game ball double. And I'm very proud of all of you, and congratulations to my Game of the Day pick as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for some closing thoughts from this past weekend. Well, as a lot of you know, number 13 Wisconsin beat number 11 Michigan, 35-14. Here's the deal. Jim Harbaugh, his seat is on the sun. He is really on the hot seat now. And that's all there is to it. And here's the deal. If Jim Harbaugh of Michigan, a lot of people were putting stuff on Facebook, photoshopping football for idiots, and they were like a dumb picture or something. I even gave it a couple of laughs. A lot of people are saying, and there's a lot of people right now in Ann Arbor, and the Michigan alumni, the student body, the players, Braylon Edwards of the Big Ten Network has been the most outspoken critic of the Michigan football program and Jim Harbaugh. And I've noticed that too. And there was one time he actually got suspended from the Big Ten Network for dropping a profane tirade on Twitter about their quarterback, Shea Patterson. And after the way that Michigan lost to Wisconsin and the way they almost got embarrassed by Army, there's a lot of people right now that are calling for Jim Harbaugh's job. Go back a couple weeks earlier when Michigan played Army. Michigan had to come from behind and double in the second overtime to win that ball game. And when you're getting booed, when you're on your home field, you should be beating Army going away. And Michigan didn't do that. And there was a big chorus of boos at the end of the first half of that game. And I've taken notice of that. Now the student body, a lot of the alumni, the players, the student body, they're all calling for Jim. Some of those, even Harbaugh's own players, some of them are calling for his job. So I made this bold prediction now. If Michigan loses to Notre Dame and or Ohio State, Harbaugh's out. He will be fired, in my opinion. And honestly, Harbaugh should have been fired at the end of last season. He should have been fired after last season after the way he got embarrassed in the horseshoe by Ohio State, and he gets embarrassed in the bowl game. He should have been fired then. But I'm going to be totally honest with you. Jim Harbaugh will be fired if he loses to Notre Dame and or Ohio State. That's all there is to it. And there's some people out there, I don't know who, have decided to start the rumor saying Urban Meyer needs to come to Michigan. Are you crazy? He ain't that stupid. Urban will not come to Michigan. I'm sorry, people. He's enjoying retirement. His wife, Shelley, works at the College of Nursing at Ohio State. And let me tell you something. Right here. That's all there is to it. I'm wearing my Ohio State shirt to say, hey, Michigan people, you're not getting Urban Meyer. He's enjoying retirement, and you let him enjoy it. You guys want to start trouble? You guys have no idea what's going on. Now, on the other hand, we watched Ohio State destroy Miami of Ohio 76-5 last Saturday. Justin Fields, a lot of people saying Justin Fields is a contender for the Heisman. Let's hold off on that. Let's see how he does against teams like Nebraska, Michigan State, Pitt State, Michigan. I'm not willing to go there yet. And one other thing before I go. What about that battle between UCLA and Washington State? UCLA won that game 67-63. I'm not kidding. I did not stutter. That is the correct final score. You can go to ESPN.com or FoxSports.com and you'll see it. So basically, it's short in that game. We had a basketball game break out on the football field. And you know, anymore in college football, that's how some of these people feel. But the bottom line is this. The Pac-12 is a little bit weak right now. UCLA got their first win of the season. And a lot of people have said we're going to have a 3-9 season or a 2-10 season at UCLA. We'll have to wait and see on that. The Pac-12 is a little bit weak right now. But I'm sure they'll make the recovery. But after this weekend in college football, this past weekend was a great one. What will this weekend bring? We don't know yet. Ohio State's got their first test of the season against Nebraska. I will talk more in depth about that on Thursday night. So stay tuned for that. But the bottom line is this. It's going to be one whale of a weekend in college football. And that's all there is to it, my friends. And what a weekend it was. What week 4 is done. We go into week 5, and it's going to get a little bit more crazy all the way to the end of the season. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for being with me. And I want to thank you guys for supporting me and doing these videos, and for the ones who actually take the time to watch. And you guys, thank you so much for making it possible for me to do what I do best. Thank you guys so much for being with me. Have a great night, and God bless. Good night, everybody, and thank you.